Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna discuss about what is G20. To know the G20, we must have known about the G7. So, in 1970, the economic condition of the world were worsened, and biggest reason was the oil crisis of 1973 when Arab countries imposed an oil embargo. So they stopped giving oil to the countries which have supported the Israel. So mostly the Western countries like America and Europe. So these Western countries rely heavily on oil coming from the Middle East, and because of this, these countries witnessed heavy economic recession. So these governments decided that if they wanted to improve the economic conditions, they need to take action together. So to bring the economy back on track, they need to sit together and make the economic policies. Because of this, there were some informal meetings in the White House of USA between the finance ministers of these countries. So in 1973, the finance ministers of USA, France, United Kingdom, West Germany met 2 years later. They include the Italy and Japan. And in 1975, the first G6 meeting took place. So this was the first official meeting. After this, in 1976, Canada joined the group and G6 group became the G7 group. So their economics were among the top economies in the world. So, but there were many other common things among them. All these countries were liberal democracies and promote the values like human rights and individual freedom. They were struggle with problems like the oil crisis and recession. So their main aim were to sit together and make the economic strategies. In 1998, Russia was also included in this group. G7 became G8, but in 2014, when Russia invaded Crimea, Russia was expelled from this group. For this reason, this group still G7. G20 was also started due to the economic crisis. In 1997, the Asian financial crisis, the South Korea, Indonesia, Thailand faced a huge financial crisis. It also affected the Hong Kong, Laos, Malaysia, Philippines, and to some extent China, Japan, Singapore, Taiwan, and Vietnam. So the values of the currency started to fall, unemployment started to rise. So in 1998, Russia also faced an financial crisis. This was the reason that Russia was included in G7 at that time. Then they feel the globalization so prominent that if there were problem in one country, its effect were felt by other countries too. So if we want to bring the economic stability to the world and stop the heavy recession, we will have to sit with the emerging economies of the world to make the action plans. In 26 September 1999, during the meeting of the finance ministers of G7, they established the G20. Since 2008, the G20 summit has been held every year. Every country has taken turns to host the G20. It also invites the other guest countries. As recent, India hosts the G20 summit and invite the other countries. And G20 collectively contribute 85% of the global economic output and 75% global trade in these countries, and two-thirds of the world population live in these countries. On the basis of the biggest economy, China, India, Brazil, South Africa, and Russia were included in G20. Then, on the basis of regional power, Indonesia and South Korea from Asia, and Brazil and Argentina from South America, and Mexico from the North America, and Australia from the Oceania, and South Arabia and Turkey from the Middle East, and in Europe from the G7. And there are 19 countries in G20, one Europe Union. And the first official summit of G20 leaders was held in 2008 in America, so they decided to reduce the trade barriers between them. The main summit continues 2 days between the leader of the state, but there are many other summits in G20, such as a minister level summit, where the finance ministers of these 20 countries met together. It is all about the G20. I hope you get it. Thank you so much.